We got this sorted out, chat. We got this sorted out. So again, a reminder. The Magic versus Bird era. What happened here? You guys won with the Houston Rockets very, very quickly. The Jordan era. We made it to 2004 and then ran into that glitch where it simmed an entire offseason and more, meaning it pretty much cooked our run. There's really nothing like we could do about it. Like losing an entire offseason where you don't know what players are going to stay, you don't have control of the draft, just cook it. It's done. Now we're moving on to the Kobe era. And to answer your question, I don't know if we'll do anything in the modern era. We'll see. But now we're moving on to the Kobe era, which we blended into with the Jordan era. So we will be moving on to the lovely world of 2002. 2002. Now, first and foremost, we don't. We can look around. We can look around there. If you win the Kobe, then the modern's the tiebreaker. I am tempted to do that. Yes, we might turn off morale this time. Also, I might not automate anything because boy, did that seem to screw shit up before. But we have a bunch of stuff to set up here really quickly. A bunch of stuff, like a bunch of crunch. Why are PS5 $720? There is a shortage. There is a shortage. Can I ask you something about this gameplay-wise? Absolutely not. I hate answering questions that people ask me. Hate it. Yes, Crash, go ahead. All right, so All-Star City doesn't matter. Ketchup scouting, contract options, we're good. Draft combine. If the team has been decided, I will get to that in one moment. Hall of Fame inductees, we're going to turn on for auto. If we play Modern Era, I'd turn it off, but for now, it's like you pretty much know who's going to make the Hall of Fame. Hoop Summit, Jersey Retirement, turn all of that stuff onto auto. Player progression as well. Player retirement will save. But yeah, this way, as much as automated as possible, and hopefully it... Basically, we have less stuff to click on, so that glitch really shouldn't happen. It shouldn't. What do I have for contracts outside the offseason? Go to contract extensions, and I'll show you where that is in a moment. Honestly, we can turn team chemistry on. And progressive fatigue, but I don't like staff abilities. And I don't think we have too much else to do within this. So, as we normally do, if I am not mistaken, right? If I'm not mistaken. The Kobe era begins in 2002, 2003. Does it not? Does it not? So knowing that it starts in 2002, 2003, as beautiful as that is, we will have the addition of the Charlotte Bobcats eventually and stuff like that. But knowing that it starts in 02, 03, that means that there are two teams we're allowed to be, right? That means that there's two teams we're allowed to be. The two worst teams that year were, in fact, the Denver Nuggets and the Cleveland Cavaliers. However, there was something that we joked about. That we are adding in. And that is a team controlled only via wheel spin. The other worst team in the bottom three, it was Cleveland and Denver with 17 wins each. And then with 24 wins, the Toronto Raptors. So the Toronto Raptors will be the wheel team. The Toronto Raptors will be the wheel-determined team. Elsewhere, if you are in chat, since you were the top donor, we've been alternating back and forth between who we want to be. I will leave it up to you. Do you want chat's team to be the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Denver Nuggets? I will leave it up to you. Mr. Elsewhere Warrior, as our top donator from the charity stream, you get the choice. Does chat control Cleveland or Denver in this new era? It is your call. And shout out to Sun Devils for the resub. Chat's going to be Denver. All right, so you guys are back in the West, and I will be controlling Cleveland. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we have the wheel will be Toronto, chat will be Denver, and I will be Cleveland. Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's take a look. We got some other stuff to set up here. But again, a reminder of the era. Social media's added in 2007, and life went downhill from there. There's a lot of new stuff. You know, we kind of got a glimpse at it. We kind of got a glimpse at it when we have the crossover, but we will be using the 2003 LeBron and Company drafts. But quickly, let's take a look around the league. So this is my starting roster here in Cleveland. I got Bimbo Coles and Smush Parker. Ricky Davis! Ricky Davis is here, though. It's beautiful. So is Jim Jackson, who you guys used a lot of. Darius Miles, Jermaine Jones, Carlos Boozer, Tyrone Hill, and Zandrunas Ilgauskas' forehead that you can park a bus on. Desanya Jop also here. So that is my starting team. Chat starting team. Kenny Satterfield, Doug Roberts. You got Ryan Bowen, Dick Daniels, and Byron Hardaway. James Posey and Horace Jordan. And your old friend, Juwan Howard, because you just can't escape him. Troy Crawford, Benny Singleton, Mark Warren, Carl Gibson, and your center, Marcus Camby. You also got Chris Anderson, who looks like he just murdered a man, and Mark Blount. So you got some big men. The Wheels team. Alvin Williams, Lindsey Hunter, Vince Carter, of course, Lamont Murray, and Carlos Rodriguez, Morris Peterson, Jerome Williams, Michael Bradley, not the soccer player, Maurice Young, and then Antonio Davis, Hakeem Olajuwon, Jelani McCoy, Mamadou Ndiaye, Pat Henderson, and Alex Parker. So if chat, you know, if you win, you win. If I win, I win. If the wheel wins, we keep going until one of us actually wins. But we'll put the wheel-controlled team in for the memes, you know? For the memes. Why the hell not? You know, why the hell not, right? Let's look elsewhere, though. So the Boston Celtics, Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, Tony Delk. Oh, it's beautiful. Vin Baker, who isn't nearly as elite as he would eventually become. Walter McCarty. The Boston Celtics. I would totally start off with this team, too. I would. It's beautiful. The LA Clippers with Elton Brand. Not Kobe Bryant, of course, as would have been in that other reality. Elton Brand, Andre Miller, Lamar Odom, Corey Maggette, Quentin Richardson. That is one hell of a core, man. It really is. Michael Olowokandi. Also there. Wang Zhizhi. He's not a random white guy anymore. He's got that going for him. Shout out to Judd McMillan. Barkley and Miller are not in the game, no. Memphis with Pau Gasol, Jason Williams, Shane Battier, Wesley Person, Stromil Swift, Drew Gooden, Brevin Knight, and nobody else, basically. Let's see the Atlanta Hawks with Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Jason Terry, Glenn Robinson, Theo Ratliff, Nazir Muhammad, Dan Dickow, Darvin Ham. They got the best names in Atlanta. They really do. The Miami Heat, Eddie Jones, Caron Butler, Brian Grant, Alonzo Mourning. Of course, we have some attachment to some of these players, of course. Of course. Vladimir Stepanov is no longer a random dude. Travis Best, Mike James, Eddie House, Alfonso Ellis. There you go. The Miami Heat. The New Orleans Hornets with Jamal Mashburn. Never worked out for me with Jamal, did it? Baron Davis, P.J. Brown, David Wesley, George Lynch. Not the best team in the world. They had Stacey Ogman, though, so I guess that's cool. The Utah Jazz with an ancient pair of dudes. Karl Malone and John Stockton. Andre Kirilenko's there, though, which is cool as hell. Calbert Cheney, Greg Ostertag, Magic legend. Mark Jackson. Sean Stevenson. Karl Malone had his own monster truck. Karl Malone was in a tag team with DDP. And then he turned out to be a big piece of shit. Yeah, so I don't know why Kirilenko wasn't in the draft, but he is here, yes. I don't know, man. Sacramento with Peja Stojakovic, Mike Bibby, Doug Christie, Bobby Jackson, Vlade Divac, Hito's there. My God, I loved the Sacramento team so much. Scott Pollard, Gerald Wallace, Damon Jones, Lawrence Funderburk. The Sacramento team, man. Absolutely love them. The New York Knicks. Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, Kurt Thomas, Howard Isley, Antonio McDyess, Charlie Ward, Shannon Anderson, Lee Nalen, Michael Doliak, Ears, Travis Knight. Amazing hair on him. See, the LA Lakers with Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Robert Horry, Davian George, Mark Madsen, Gennaro Pargo. That's a name I haven't heard forever. Kareem Rush. What a team. The 02-03 Lakers. The Orlando Magic. Tracy McGrady. It's weird to see the Magic and not have it be your team. But T-Max there. Grant Hill. Mike Miller, who was on my team. Darrell Armstrong. Jacques Vaughn. Sean Kemp. LOL. Horace Grant's beautiful glasses. Pat Garrity, Pat Burke, all the Pats. All the Pats. The Dallas Mavericks with Dirk Nowitzki, who has a different generated picture, which is cool. Steve Nash as well, which, my God. Michael Finley, Nick Van Exel, Rafael Frentz, Sean Bradley, Raja Bell, Avery Johnson, Eduardo Nashara, the Nahara, Popeye Jones, hanging around. Not bad for the Mavs. The New Jersey Nets with he who shall not be named. Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Kerry Kittle, Sex the Mutombo, Jason Collins, Brian Scalabrine. It's an interesting New Jersey team, man. That is. The Denver Nuggets, of course, we already looked at with it being Chat's team. The Indiana Pacers with your favorite, Jermaine O'Neal, Al Harrington, Jeff Foster, Jonathan Bender, Austin Crozier. But yeah, it was not a great Pacers team at that stage. Not at all. The Pistons. Cover boy himself, Ben Wallace, at least back in the day. Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Cliff Robinson, Corliss Williamson, John Barry, Pepe Sanchez. This is beautiful. No, Jason, I love Jason Kidd. Everything's fine. The Toronto Raptors, of course, we already looked at with that being the Wheels team. In Houston, everyone's favorite, as he was once called Ming Yao, but Yao Ming is there. So is Stevie Franchise, Steve Francis, Katino Mobley, Glenn Rice, Moochie Norris. Just about ready to change their logo, of course. Let's see. The San Antonio Spurs, Tim Duncan, Bruce Bowen, Tony Parker, David Robinson, Steven Jackson, Manu Ginobili. Steve Kerr hanging around, about to win one more title before retiring. Kevin Willis was also an old man. Speedy Claxton. Phoenix with Stephon Marbury, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire at 19 years old, Penny Hardaway, Joe Johnson, Bo Outlaw, Tom Gugliotta. Where's Nash? He plays for Dallas, dog. Randy Brown. The Seattle Supersonics, Gary Payton. Rashard Lewis. He was on Dallas. Ooh, you didn't know that. Yeah, he was originally a Maverick. Brent Barry, Desmond Mason, Kenny Anderson. It's definitely going to be my favorite era that we play in, though. This is very nostalgic for me. The Minnesota Timberwolves. I wish I could have brought a title to Minnesota. I really did, but the game took it out of our hands. Kevin Garnett, Wally Zerbiak, Joe Smith, Rod Strickland, Anthony Peeler, Kendall Gill. Goodness, goodness, goodness. What a team. Portland Trail Blazers with an ancient Scottie Pippen, Derek Anderson, Bonzi Wells, Zach Randolph, who looks very happy to be here. Damon Stoudemire. Arvidas Sabonis' gigantic face. Antonio Daniels. Ruben Bomche. What the fuck? How do you say that name? One of us better pick him up. The Bomji. The Golden State Warriors, Antoine Jameson, Gilbert Arenas, Jason Richardson, Eric Dampier, Mike Dunleavy, Adonal Foyle, Bob Sura, the legend, Chris Giles. God, if I never lost Bob Sura, I'm sure I would have won a title. That's where it went all downhill for me. The Washington Wizards with some guy named Mikkel Jordan. Mikkel. Shout out to Mikkel. He's alongside Jerry Stackhouse, Larry Hughes, Christian Leitner, Brendan Haywood, Eaton Thomas, Tyronn Lue, Jared Jeffries, Charles Oakley, Brian Russell, Brian Cardinal. Yeah, we get Wizards MJ. Wizards MJ. The 76ers rocking with Allen Iverson, Keith Van Horn, Eric Snow, Derek Coleman, Aaron McKee, Todd McCullough. Basically, Allen Iverson and his band of merry men. Allen Iverson and his band of merry men. The Milwaukee Bucks with Ray Allen, Sam Cassell, Michael Redd, Tony Kukoc, Tim Thomas. Didn't we see a different Tim Thomas? Kevin Ollie, Irvin Johnson. And that is just about it. We got the Chicago, Jalen Rose, Donyell Marshall, Tyson Chandler, Jay Williams, Jamal Crawford, Marcus Feiserfella, Eddie Curry, Eddie Robinson, Fred Hoiberg, or the Basketball Reference name is pronounced Boom Shea. I can believe that. Oh, Boom Shea, Boom Shea. And then back to Cleveland with Ilgauskas. So that is the team. That is the scenario. And of course, we are already well familiar with the draft because I had a lottery pick and missed out on the top 4 and elected not to take Chris Kaman. We kind of have a hint at who's decent from this draft. Take Chris Kaman if you can. But this should be fun because now the compy's involved.